What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. Very disturbing story that was brought to my attention coming out of Seattle, Washington, where a disabled black veteran was shot by this crazy ass mayonnaise mutant. So, the black veteran, the brother's name is Harold Powell Sr., and he is a veteran who I guess he served in the Navy, and he lost his leg, and so he's wheelchair bound, and he was just cruising along the waterfront area where like apparently he normally does. Apparently this is something that he likes to do on the weekends and during the week, just hang out at the waterfront in his wheelchair, and he was just assaulted by this random white male. Now this white man's name is Gregory William Tim. So Gregory Tim came up to the black man and said that he accused the black man of stolen valor. And for those who don't know what that is, that's like in the military where you might have these people out here, which I didn't know this was such a big deal, but it is. But there are a lot of people out here who claim to have military service who don't have it. They might just have bought a uniform from somewhere and they're lying about their military service. Or it even happens within like branches of the military. Like you might have somebody who was in the army, but they're lying about being a Marine or lying about being like a Navy SEAL or a pilot or something like that. Or they might have been in the military. They might have been in a certain branch of the military, but they don't have any combat experience. Like they've never actually served in a combat area, and they're lying about actually serving in combat, or like they've served in certain platoons or certain battalions or whatever. It happens, right? So this white man accused this black man of stolen valor, and he assaulted him. He actually tried to, rip the Navy patch off of this black man. So Harold Powell Sr. decided to defend himself, and he started going for a knife, and he also had I think like one of those air pistols, one of those airsoft like pistols that people use. That it's not as powerful as a gun, but it does hurt, and it works as a deterrent against people who are attacking you. I know there are a lot of people, especially in my area, who, if you're like they're not too sure about using guns or they don't want to take anyone's life, so they'll have an airsoft pistol. Is that they consider it to be safer to have that, right? So the black man was reaching for that to defend himself, and this white dude backed up, pulled out a real gun, and shot this black man in the chest, right? Now, luckily, the brother survived. He's not dead, right? But the fact that he had to deal with this demon, first of all, accusing him of faking and lying about his military service. So this brother Harold Powell Sr. is an actual veteran. He's not someone that's lying about his service. But at the end of the day, even if he was, that still doesn't give you the right to assault somebody. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal in civilian life to where you need to question somebody and demand that they explain to you their military service, because that's what this white guy was doing. He's like, show me your ID. Like he wanted to see this black man's ID as if he was the overseer and asking for this black man's freedom papers. Can you imagine that? You're an older black man who served in war. You lost your leg. You're just trying to enjoy your life, and this young little white punk is now demanding that you show your ID to him and declare yourself and your military service, as if this little devil who was probably an itch in his daddy's pants when you served in the military, like as if he has the right to demand anything from you, right? So, the story has blown up, obviously, and it was crazy because the video shows that this white man shot this black man in broad daylight, just out on the pier. It was at where dozens of people are just hanging out. And, the white guy has been arrested, but his punk ass is already claiming self-defense, right? He's already saying that, well, I was just defending myself because this black man was reaching for a weapon, but you leave out the part where you were harassing and attacking this black man to begin with. Why does he not have the right to defend himself, right? But you only have the right to defend yourself. And I've seen a lot of these bigots and a lot of these, these conservatives, because I went down one of these conservative rabbit holes yesterday to look up some information about this story, and I saw, you have some of these conservatives and some of these gun rights activists. They're playing real loose with the facts on this story, to where it's so obvious that this white man shot this black man for no reason, but they're trying to split the difference by saying, well, this black man, he was reaching for a weapon. So basically what these white bigots and these conservatives are saying is that the black man never has a right to defend himself. Only the white people do. Only white people have the right to reach for a gun and shoot somebody, right? Because if you're talking about self-defense, then this black man is the one that has the right to defend himself if someone's harassing out of the blue. He didn't know this white guy, and he was just minding his business when this white guy came up to start harassing him, right? I mean, the same thing happened with Trayvon Martin, in my opinion, like where, you had all these white bigots saying that George Zimmerman has the right to walk around with a gun and demand that Trayvon Martin explain himself, but Trayvon does not have the right to defend himself. That Trayvon did not have a gun. He had to fight back with his fist. And this older man, George Zimmerman, attacked this boy and then pulled out a gun when the boy started getting the best of him. You see? So, and then you had all these bigots and these idiot minstrels out there basically saying that Trayvon Martin was the one that did not have the right to defend himself. Someone who was just basically out on the phone minding his business, and this bigot had the right to kill him. So, it's that type of mentality that I really don't like from these demons out here, because they, like I said, when these situations come up, they like to play real loose with the facts, and they get real funny style when they decide who gets to defend themselves and who has to, I guess, just sit there and allow themselves to be attacked. But you folks can let me know what you think about this story, and I'll keep an eye on it, because there's definitely, obviously, more is probably going to come out about this story, because this demon, of course, he had a criminal record. This Gregory Tim, he already had a criminal record. He had already tried to run over some people at a Republican voting tent, not too long ago. So he might be one of these crazy weirdo liberals or whatever, and he tried to kill some people before. But I think he probably does have some mental problems, and the biggest mental problem that he has is being a white supremacist, in my opinion. Because just attacking an old black man for no reason is the height of being a white supremacist coward. So you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section, and I would love to hear your opinions on this story. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.